Well, welcome to my home solar system setup, a do-it-yourself project. I have three solar panels. The two monocrystalline is 100 watts, rated at what 5 point something amps, 12 volts, and the big one is a 24 volts, 20 what 31 volts coming in at 8 point something amps. Now what I did, I realized 24 volts, 12 volts. I series these two and raise it up to 12 volts. They say to 24 volts. They say when you raise them up to 24 volts, you will remain the same ampage. Which in it, I guess if I raise it to 24 volts, the amp it's supposed to be one big panel with 5 point something amps. That's what they say. This one is 24 volts at 8 point something amps. Now, after I raise those to 24 volts, I bring them together into a bus bar in the back here, and I send it into the house 24 volts. So this one is 235 watts, and each one of those is 100 watts each. So let's say I got what 400 watts. I guess not. I don't know, but this is what I'm working with. Now this is at the back of it. If you can see, give you a quick peep of the specs on this one. Hope you can see. Okay. Voltage, amps, and everything. Now, coming out, I have them ground. Now, this is the bus bar that I made. I got a hot bus bar there, cold. And then I got another bar here to bring these two together in the series type of hookup I did. Now, this is the specs on one of these. As you can see, ampage, voltage, and everything. Good. What I did after I come out that bus bar, I have them coming into this, and I have it just plug in. So you just unplug, roll up this ground wire, stick it in the back of there, and boom, it's movable. Coming out all the way back to the house. I got 75 feet of that wire, and that's a 3 mm wire. Now we're inside where it begins to show what those panels are giving me. This is the TriStar that I'm using. TriStar. Now, like I said, you see the ampage and the watts on the back of those panels, and this is what's coming in. I have a 24 volts battery bank, and it's bringing in. No, I have a 12 volts battery bank. Sorry, and I set this TriStar as to recognize a 12 volts battery bank, but it's bringing in 24 volts. Now I'm seeing 14.9 amps, which is 190 watts. See, it's going up and down. Battery is 30C. You could see. I'm gonna show you the voltage that's coming in. Now I'm bringing in bulk charging at 27 volts, 0.85. That's what the solar is giving me right now, the voltage, and this is the amps that is coming in. 14.9. It's going up, going down, going up. Cause we have a little cloudy day. It's only what 10:43 in the morning, and you see what's going on. Now the TriStar. Let's talk to this thing. That 3 mm wire that's coming in, very heavy cable. So I have less power loss coming into this. Pull out breaker, not a breaker, but I just pull out main switch, kill it. From here, go to the TriStar. TriStar is rated as 150 volts at 60 amps. That's what it's rated at. Let's go back to what's coming in. Still 14.5 amps. Good. From that TriStar, goes down to my battery. I have a 10 mm wire I'm using going to my battery. 10 mm wire, hot side. I runs to this 30 amp breaker down here. Instead of a fuse, I prefer the breaker. If it trips, it can always be reset and go again. Now, why is that? So in case I get any feedback from my battery, it don't damage my whatever, my TriStar. So it protect everything right there. Now that's how I'm charging my battery. Now before we go to the battery, let's continue with this. This was my first battery charger I had. Charge control. They say it's rated for 12 volts or 24 volts. But I had it on 12 volts on these same panels. I didn't have it hook up to 24 volts. I had it 12 volts. And it was running hot. Very, very hot. Right now it's only working to give me lights. My battery is state of charge 83% so far. Now I don't have any solar panel going into it. I have it running to my battery giving it power, and then I have the load going out to these bus bars that I made. Now these bus bar, I set up a lot of 12 volts lights around the house. Not a lot, but 5 of them. And that's what's running these lights. Before the battery, I put a switch on it. So if I want, I can just kill it. And the system is no longer working. When I put it back on, it works my lights. 12 volts lights. Okay, from that, this is the battery that I'm working with. Chosen the T2. 6 volts. I have 4 of them. I run 2 of them series and raise it up to 12 volts. I run the other 2 series 12 volts, and then I run these 2 banks parallel and raise up the ampage straight across. Now coming in from the charge, let's say fuse, well breaker, I'm going in on that side of the battery bank, and the negative is coming. I'm going on this side of the battery bank. What's that for? I'm charging on the 2 opposite sides, so that way all the batteries will be charged evenly. Now some people would go here and go there, and then these first 2 batteries would be getting all the current and then send it down. I don't think that's working the battery properly. Go on the opposite side here and there, charge all the cells of the battery properly, and you wouldn't get no damaged cell later on. And when you pull in from the battery, do the same thing. Pull from the opposite side. Hot, cold, going straight to your inverter. But before to go to the inverter, I put a 300 amps breaker here to protect my inverter. In case it pulls too much, it won't burn or nothing like that. It'll trip this. I just reset it and we go again. Now, the inverter that I'm using is a Ramson Sunray 3000 pure side wave inverter, digital. Now, digital, this is going to tell you how much watts I'm pulling. This tells you how much voltage my battery is. Right now it's telling me I'm 12.7. That's pretty good, but I'm not fully charged. I like to see it run up in the 13s before before the night come. I have a remote on this, and this is run all the way outside in the living room, so I can shut that off. This drop cord is going straight to a fuse box, and I'm getting all the current throughout the house with this one drop cord. It's not the proper way yet, but I have some wiring work to be done, and once it's done, I will be coming out this hard wire going to the fuse box. I'm not ready for that yet. So I'm just using this drop card. So that's the setup that I have. Okay, this, you probably want to know why I have this in the back here. This is supposed to be in a car or something. Well, this is like a car system. You're using battery. And you use a battery to the inverter to give you house current, AC current. Now what it says, once you put on a fridge or something, it tends to pull a lot of ampage. And these deep cycle battery doesn't make, for cold cranking amps. It's make the drain, charge, but the cold cranking amps is not that great on these batteries. So what you would do, I read up and I heard that these have a lot of ampage store, 12 volts, but it stores a lot of amps. So if you put one of these just behind the inverter, just like I'm coming up from the battery to my back of my inverter, you can also just tag in this right at the back here. And I did that. So when my fridge pull, instead of going and pull all from the battery, it's going to pull from here and save the battery from being, pulled down. So that's what I did with that. And that's a 4.4 farad, 4,400. And it's working pretty good. I run my fridge, lights, everything, music, everything on this. I just need to implicate a lot more battery. I need like, hopefully all across there, battery. All the way to the wall. Make a nice little shelf and keep this battery going. And if I end up with at least 16 battery would be great. Hopefully 16, because these things cost money. Well, that's my little home do-it-yourself solar system setup. Thanks for watching. Any upgrade, I will let you know. Now look at what's coming in. I'm bringing in 16.1 amps with these three panels. 206 watts. That's pretty damn good. Thanks again.